Hey guys, Matt here. So I want to talk about Palantir for a little bit. I was doing some research for personal stuff just to keep up to date with the company stock as the stock and stuff, and I saw this right here. And I've been meaning to make a video about this for a while, but the way this showed up, it says everything I wanted to say, like in one picture. So searching for Palantir news, we have two articles from Investor Place, the same company. Now, these are from individual contributors. Now, these are from one of them is from the 17th, and one of them is from the 31st. And you can see that the message is kind of the opposite. So from the now these are individual contributors, so they have different opinions, obviously. But the point is that Investor Place published it, and these are weeks apart. A fairly negative opinion about a stock and a fairly positive opinion. Now, I don't want to go into the articles in detail because that's not the point of this video. And that point is to not rely on media and stuff you find on Yahoo as the decision making factor as to whether you buy a stock or not. And that goes beyond the media. That goes beyond Yahoo News, anything like that. That goes with stock YouTubers. And that goes with bullish and bearish opinions on certain stocks. Now, it's great to listen to stock YouTubers like me or Tom Nash for opinions and to get some sort of, some sort of different thoughts on certain stocks. But you should not at any point base whether you buy a stock or not based on the output. Now, let me show you something. Well, first, I want to show you where I stand on this. I am a Palantir shareholder, and I've been buying all the way on the way down. I started buying at, I think, 16 or so, and I've been buying all the way down. I spend about $250 a week into Palantir, and I will keep doing that as long as this price stays this low. If this price starts going above 13 or 14 bucks, I will probably stop, but that's where I stand. I mean, if you just do a Google search for Palantir, you will have probably a lot of negative media, a lot of it focused on the stock-based compensation and other things, trying to nitpick at reasons that you shouldn't buy Palantir. You will see a lot of negative press regarding the stock. If you look on Yahoo Finance, the main page, you'll see that they think for whatever reasons they have that Palantir is overvalued. Even right now, they show the performance outlook down, up, down. If you scroll down here, you see the recommendation is just below a hold. Now, having said all of that, if you go to Yahoo, the analysis on still on Yahoo, not leaving Yahoo, you will see a different picture. A consensus of 9 to 10, depending on what you look at. Different analysts. You will see a earnings growth from 0.13 to 0.2 and up to 0.26 as far as earnings. If you scroll down here, you will see an even better tale. Oh, 30% gains this year. 29.5% gains the year after that. If you scroll down here, growth estimates. Now, this is bottom line. These analysts agree. Now, analyst estimates, I mean, they're not things you should take for gospel, but these are analysts agreeing on stuff. Next year, an EPS growth of 30%. Next 5 years, 43.6%. Bottom line growth. Yeah, I mean, you can see conflicting tales depending on what you look at. Now, let's look at some actual numbers. If we take a look at on Yahoo Finance at the income statement, the annual income statements, you can see Palantir doing very well from a revenue growth standpoint for the past several years. Now, let's talk about the operating income. Now, these look very scary, don't they? These look pretty scary. However, if we take a look at the cash flow, stock-based compensation, now you'll see this a lot if you look at the news for Palantir. It's one of the biggest sticking points that the media will throw to say that Palantir is not a worthy investment. Now, the stock-based compensation is going down from 2020 to 2021. If you remove that, they are cash flow positive. Well, they are cash flow positive. But if you remove that, they are operating positive as well. So in stock-based compensation, correct me if I'm wrong, that's a non-cash thing. So a cash flow basis, yeah, Palantir is right now operating income positive. They are, if you take out the stock-based compensation right now. Now, let me ask you a question. How long do you think the stock-based compensation is going to last? Now, keep in mind, I'm talking from the perspective of holding Palantir for the next 10 years. Do you think that in 10 years from now, the stock-based compensation is going to be a thing? I doubt it. I heard through YouTube and stuff, so don't quote me on this, that stock-based compensation should be going away over the next year or two. And once that happens, yeah, we're in profit city, especially with Palantir's revenue growth and its bottom line growth. Yeah, they are going to be they should be profitable at the end of next year. A fairly recent article from Barron's, if we scroll down here, Palantir reiterated its forecast for annual revenue growth of 30% or better through 2025. Now, that is explosive. Palantir is going to be more than profitable by 2025. They would have to screw up very royally for that to not happen. Another thing you could say that the media likes to say is that Palantir isn't, they're what's the word? They're weighted towards government. And that's true. A lot of the business is the government. However, their commercial revenue growth is getting better and better. The chief operating officers that said that the company now has 80 U.S. commercial customers, up to 17 from a year ago. Yeah, they're doing really, really well. And I don't see Palantir stopping anytime soon. So those are numbers. Those are the actual facts. And this is stuff you can go look up right now. You can go look up their 10K. You can go look up all their cash flow statements. You can look up all you want to. So the point I'm trying to make is, don't just listen to the media, good or bad, and use that as a decision whether you should buy or sell a stock. Look through the story, look through the numbers, listen to the earnings call, and then from there, make your own decision whether you like or dislike Palantir. Look at this balance sheet, just as a final point here. Look at this balance sheet from 2020 to 2021. Like, their assets are absolutely crushing their liabilities, and they have barely any debt at all. Like, they're in a really good position from a balance sheet standpoint, from a cash flow standpoint. Like, they're doing really well from every aspect except for the media itself. So, yeah, that's my point. Don't listen to media. Look at the numbers. Look at the Palantir story and where it's going to go from there. And you tell me, in 2030, do you think that Palantir is going to be in a much better place than it is now? If you had to guess, I know you don't have a crystal ball, but if you had to guess just by the numbers, heck, not even 2030, by 2025, do you think Palantir is going to thrive in 2025? Just by looking at the numbers. I think so. But anyways, take care, have a great day, and eat your vegetables.